Greetings Pokemon fans and welcome back to Polar Wars Wrath. My name is JD and today we're doing a playthrough of Pokemon Blue to figure out who the best Ice type is in Generation 1. We started this series last week. We played through as Dugong last week. It ended up with a time of 44 minutes and 48 seconds. At the time in which we finished it, it was in second place on our leaderboard, but we did a replay of Machamp, so it overtook it. So all the Dugong fans out there, it does have a chance to overpass and surpass Machamp. We'll get that chance in the future, but today we were playing through with a legendary Pokemon named Articuno. Articuno is a flying ice type in the slow level up rate, which is kind of detrimental to the Pokemon. And here are its stats. 90 HP, attack is 85, defense is 100, speed is 85, and special is 125. We had a critical hit rate of 16.41. Across the board, pretty solid stats. There's not really any weakness here. I guess its attack and speed are its worst stats, but that's not a weakness. Those are really solid stats across the board. And in the top right corner, you kind of see that really small writing. I can't really zoom in. I did it last time. It didn't really work so well, but I'll read it off to you. It is Peck, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Agility, and Mist. We start the game with Peck and Ice Beam, which is solid. We have a lot of bug and grass Pokemon, so Peck will work. Ice will work against rock, ground type, and there's a grass also and bug. And then we don't have a broad moveset because this is a flying type Pokemon. So our moveset that we're going to take advantage of, we're not using Razor Wind, Whirlwind, Toxic, or Takedown. Double Edge is a contender. Water Gun, Bubble Beam is a contender. Ice Beam, obviously, we can get the TM and relearn it if we need to. Blizzard is an option. Hyper Beam is an option. Not going to use Rage. Mimic will help us badge boost, or at least mimic a move until we get Agility. Not going to use Reflect, Bide, Double Team. Maybe Swift for like a hot minute. Sky Attack, maybe. Rest, yes. Substitute and Fly, definitely. So, pretty decent moveset. It's got more versatility than most flying Pokemon, but it's not a great versatility. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this playthrough. So we named our rival is Drago. I don't know why I named him Drago, just random. And we named our Pokemon Frost. Like I said, we got Ice Beam to start the game. It's a very powerful move. 75 base power. I'm sorry, 95 base power. With Stab, it's 142. And against Squirtle, it has a resistance, so we don't really have a great advantage with Squirtle. That's why we chose them. And Ice Beam is a 2-shot on the Pidgey. It ends up being a 1-shot actually, but I accidentally hit Peck. And then Ice Beam on this Squirtle is going to knock it out in 2 goes. Very good. Pretty easy win. We level up to level 7. And now we're going to move right on to the Bug Forest. And we're going to just get some experience, and we're going to talk for a little bit. So it gets Peck, 35 base power with Stab. It's 52. And it ends up being super effective against the bug types in here. Even though it's not one-shotting them. I don't know why, but it's not. Right now, we don't have the full maxed out stats I explained in the beginning. We just start the game at level 5. And like I said, at a slow level up rate, it's going to prevent us from getting to some certain level ranges for like gym leaders. And that will come back to haunt us later in the video. But right now, we are super effective against everything we have. We would use Ice Beam, but I didn't want to run out of power points. Actually, I think right now it only has 6. So we probably could still use Ice Beam, but I don't want to heal. That's the thing. I think we're going to go right for Brock's Gym after this battle, so we don't want to heal. So this Pokemon's doing pretty good in the early game. It's 2 minutes and 30-some seconds. We are poisoned. Did we heal? We did not heal. We might have taken a potion, but we did not go back and actually heal at the Poke Center. Ice Beam will one-shot the Diglett. It'll one-shot the Sandshrew, and we're going to go right into our Brock battle. There's no point not doing this. That we're going to obliterate. He is 4 times weak to our ice moves. So Ice Beam is a 1-shot. Look at the power in the top left corner. 285 power, effective power against Geodude and against Onix. So we beat Brock Wakanda forever. And we move right on to the Mountain Moon. We're going to face Super Duper Nerd. He's protecting his fossils. We would go for other moves right now. We're just going to go for Ice Beam. It's going to be pretty easy. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Knock out Super Duper Nerd, and we're going to grab a fossil. We're going to grab the Dome one. I knew if I didn't tell you, you're going to ask. Actually, now that I think about it, go ahead and ask. Comments are great for the YouTube algorithm. And we move right on to the third rival battle. We have Ice Beam. So Pidgeotto is basically going to be a non-factor in this video. He's not going to be able to Sand Attack. It's not going to be able to do anything. So that gives a huge advantage for this Pokemon. And Peck is pretty much one-shotting the rest of his team. We're going to go for 3 Pecks to knock out the Squirtle. We don't have anything great for Squirtle, but Peck did the job in 3 moves. And now we're going to go ahead and face Misty. Misty really doesn't have an advantage against us. We don't have an advantage against her. Ice Beam is a 2-shot on the Staryu. And Starmie, what we're going to do instead, actually, we're not going to do it. I thought we were going to go for Bide. Yeah, we're going to go for Bide. It's going to accumulate damage over 2 to 3 turns. And then we're going to deal it back and just obliterate her Starmie. We beat Misty. She was pretty much a cakewalk. We're going to leave here and go right onto the SSN. We cannot learn Body Slam with this Pokemon, so we're going to go right for our rival on the SSN. Our rival is going to come out with a Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto is going to go down to 1 Ice Beam. Very good. Ice Beam, nope, we're going to go for Bubble Beam. It's not like Stab or anything, Bubble Beam, but it's still a pretty effective move. It's going to make it so we don't have to use a lot of power points. We come across a lot of rock Pokemon. For example, we can use a Bubble Beam or Water Gun, and we'll still one-shot even though we're not using a Stab move. So we obliterate our rival's team, and with that obliteration, we're going to move right on to Lieutenant Surge. Lieutenant Surge is technically a risk here, because we are Flying type, and his electric moves are going to be super effective. But Ice Beam will knock out the Voltorb, Ice Beam will knock out the Pikachu, and do we knock out the Raichu? Nope, but we do tank a pretty good Thunderbolt there. We get a 2-hit knockout with Ice Beam on Lieutenant Surge, and we're going to beat him, we're going to leave, and we're going to go right into the Rock Tunnel. Now, this is a trainer I show all the time. He is always a problem for Pokemon. Well, not always, because in this case, he is not a problem at all. We're going to use our low-grade Water Gun move that we picked up in Mount Moon, and we're going to one-shot all of his Pokemon without any kind of issues whatsoever. We beat Boomer the Hiker, and I'm going to move right on to Giovanni. We are moving and flying through this game in the early part. Giovanni, we're at 20 minutes and 25 seconds in this battle. So we're going to one-shot both the Rhyhorn and the Onix, and now we're going to go ahead and go for Ice Beam on a Kangaskhan. It is a one-shot. We sweep his entire team. Giovanni pulls the Batman and just vanishes, and now we're moved right on to Erica. Now, Erica, we actually have 2 different types that are effective here. But we have a very powerful Ice-type move, so this is going to make this gym very obsolete. Ice Beam on the Victory Bell, Ice Beam on the Tangela, and Ice Beam on the Vileplume. And we're going to move into our 6th rival battle. This is in the Pokemon Tower, and he's going to lead out with a Pidgeotto again. Pidgeotto is a non-factor, like I said. Ice Beam on the Pidgeotto, one-shot, very good. Bubble Beam on the Growlithe, very good. Execute comes out, Ice Beam on the Execute. Kadabra comes out. We're going to go for a Double Edge on Kadabra. It does a little bit of recoil damage, but no big deal. It's a one-shot. And now we're going to get a 2-shot Ice Beam on the Wartortle. And we knock him out. We beat our rival again and move right on to the rest of Pokemon Tower and then the Koga. Now that we're in Koga's gym kind of showcases some advantages and disadvantages of this Pokemon. Advantage, it's a very powerful Pokemon. We are 1 level lower than Koga's lowest Pokemon. And we are still able to pretty much obliterate 1 or 2-shot everything in this gym. The downside is we are 6 levels lower than his ace. We should be pacing around where his ace is, but we're not. And that's going to show up and be detrimental. This is where Dugong had an advantage over Articuno. Dugong had the medium slow growth rate, so it paced better with the game. And it also had the better typing. The typing is going to come back and haunt us in this battle against Blaine. Blaine has fire Pokemon. They're all fire type. They're all higher level. And we are just out of range of one-shotting them. Dugong didn't have that issue because Dugong was a water ice Pokemon, so it got the stab out of like Bubble Beam and Surf and things like that, whereas Articuno does not. Even though we have a pretty good special, it's still just not enough to one-shot these Pokemon or get them into healing range so they can just use like a super potion or something. So we are at a detriment. We're not doing enough damage, and these Pokemon are doing a lot of damage to us. So all we gotta do is get hit by 1 more move, and we're gonna get knocked out. Yep, that's what happened. So we take a reset from Blaine, so we're like, you know what, let's get a couple extra levels and we'll come back and we'll redo this battle. So now we're facing our rival in Silphco. Ice Beam knocks out the Pidgeot. Growlithe comes out, we're at level 40 now, we just leveled up. Bubble Beam's a knockout, very good. Execute comes out, Ice Beam, very good. Alakazam comes out, Fly, it's going to be a one-shot, very good. And Blastoise comes out. This really is a no contest, to be honest with you. I don't consider this I think this is the worst rival battle. Worst rival team. Gyarados is a solid Pokemon, and you lose out on Gyarados. I think Charizard is actually probably the best team. It doesn't help like benefit us or anything. We are Ice type, so we're going to have an advantage against this flying, so that's why I didn't choose Charizard. Maybe in the replay I'll do Charizard. But we move right on from our rival to Giovanni. He gets 2-shot by Nidorino. We 2-shot Nidorino. There we go. We knock out the Kangaskhan. We knock out the Rhyhorn, and now we have Nidoqueen. It is a 1-shot, very good. We beat Giovanni, and he disappears like Batman again, and now we face Sabrina. Sabrina and her whip. She is a Psychic Gym Leader. We are going to go ahead and hit her with physical moves. We're going to go for Fly or Double Edge on all these. Fly is a 1-shot on the Kadabra. Very good. Oh, I'm sorry. We will probably go for Ice Beam on the Venomoth because it's a flying Pokemon. It's going to be weak to us. So Well, no, it's not. It's actually a bug Pokemon, not a flying Pokemon. But we do knock it out nonetheless. And now Alakazam, double edge on the Alakazam. It's going to be a 2-hit or a 3-hit. If he keeps healing. You could have got knocked out there. Psywave did a lot more damage than I've ever seen it do in my life. And now we're going to go back and face Blaine. We're at level 42 now, so maybe we're closer to these ranges to get a little bit of extra help. We do have Mimic now, so we're going to Mimic Agility and boost some of our stats. This really doesn't help us, though. The real reason why this doesn't help us is we got to beat Blaine to get our special attack boosted. But I think we're just going to go for Physical Fly. That's probably what our strategy is here. Okay, good. And we're actually about to level up, so this is going to be very poorly timed and everything. We're going to level up right here, so we lose all those boosts. We're going to go for Fly again. We miss. Ember knocks us down to 25 hit points. And Fire Blast knocks us out again. So we got to retry this battle. This is our second reset of the game, so not too bad. But this mid-game did cost us a lot. We were at 20 minutes when we were taking on the first Giovanni fight. And now we're almost 20 minutes later because the mid-game was not good. This is something I definitely got to clean up whenever I face, play off this Pokemon again, I should say, in the second round and second playthrough. But now we're doing pretty good. We leveled up, so we didn't level up in the middle of battle. And we just got to go for Fly here. Come on, let's go for Fly. Bubble Beam knocks out, very good. We do not get a boost in our special until we beat Blaine. So doing the badge boost to use special moves was not worth it at all right here. So we wouldn't have done anything with it other than being faster. Maybe we can take more hits, but that's about it. We eventually do beat Blaine, and we move right on to the final Giovanni fight of the game. Giovanni is going to be a cakewalk. We're going to Ice Beam our way through this entire team, and I highly doubt anyone's going to survive anything. Bubble Beam will work too, but Ice Beam is going to one-shot the Dugtrio. One-shot the Nidoqueen. Nidokeen's going to be a one-shot as well. And Rhydon is not going to hang on to this. He's going to get one shot as well. So we clean sweep Giovanni's team. We're at level 45. I'm going to go into our final rival battle before the Elite Four. The final rival battle is, like I said, this is the worst rival team you can possibly imagine, especially for this Pokemon. We are going to obliterate this team. Pidgeot, we're going to Mimic Agility. Agility is going to give us the ability of the badge boost, and we can now actually badge boost and get our special boosted now because we have beaten Blaine's Gym. He gives us a boost to our special stat, and every time you modify stats, it increases all the other stats by 12.5% that have a corresponding badge. Growlithe is a one-shot. Execute should be a one-shot as well. Very good. Alakazam comes out. We're going to go for Fly. Oh, no, we don't. He goes for a Reflect, so we don't do a lot of damage. We knock it out on our third hit, and now we're going to go ahead and face Blastoise. Blastoise, we hit a critical, so don't know if that would have mattered or not. But we get a 3-hit knockout. He does nothing to us. We beat our rival and head to the Elite Four. In the Elite Four, our Pokemon is prepped and ready to go. We use a couple rare candies, level 56. Let's go and look at the stats before we head in. Attack is 142, defense is 159, speed is 142, and special is 188. On the left side of the screen, in the bottom left corner, you will see the stats modified with the corresponding badge. Our attack is 159 in battle, defense is 178 in battle, special is 150, or I'm sorry, speed is 159, special is 211. Okay, so let's move on to the moveset, which you can probably see that in the top left corner, but I'm just going to go over them. Agility gives the ability to badge boost and boost our stats. Ice Beam is a very powerful ice move that we've pretty much had since the beginning of the game. The only thing we might change this out with is Blizzard, but Blizzard's accuracy isn't great, so I usually like to stick with the more reliable move. Fly, we can't get rid of if we wanted to. It is a pretty good move, though. It's effective at stab. It's 70 base power. It's 105 with stab. And then Mimic is going to give us the ability to mimic a move from the opposition. So let's go ahead and dive into our first battle in the Elite Four, which is against Lorelei. She is the Ice Specialist, which technically she's kind of Ice Water. All other Pokemon have the Water typing as well. So we're going to go ahead and go for Agility. 3 times, get set up. Now he just growled us like to hell and back. So that growling is going to give us some problems because now we can't use Fly. Fly is pretty much nerfed. It's a very weak sauce move right now. And we're using a lot of power points on Ice Beam. Ice Beam does eventually knock out the Dugong. And now Ice Beam will take a 3-shot to knock out the Cloyster. And now here comes the next part of our stat modification. We're going to mimic Amnesia off of the Slowbro. It's pretty much the strategy most Pokemon do. So now we're, boosted our special up to almost over 1,000. So that's good. And we critical hit there, so it ignored our stat modifications. So that's kind of the problem with that. Ice Beam is a 1-shot on the Jinx. And we are going to 2-shot the Lapras. We get paralyzed, so this becomes a lot more convoluted and complicated than it has to be. However, we do knock out the Lapras eventually. We get the win over Lorelei, and we move right on to Bruno. We do heal, we do all those things. I just cut those things out, so you don't have to worry about it. Just focus on the battles. And now we're just going to go ahead and use agility real quick. We did level up for the battle. We're at level 57. And we set up, and now we're going to sweep with Ice Beam on the entire team. Ice Beam on the Hitmonchan. Ice Beam on the Hitmonlee. Onix is going to go down to 1 Ice Beam as well. Is Machamp a one-shot? It is a one-shot. Even though the critical hit, don't know if that mattered or not. But we beat Bruno, and that leaves us open to take on Agatha. Now, Agatha is not great because we don't have... Actually, she's not too bad, because we can mimic Hypnosis. As long as we don't get hit by Hypnosis, we'll give ourselves a good opportunity here. So we're going to get Hypnosis. We're going to hit by Nightshade. It does pretty good damage because Gengar, is at level, is a pretty high level. So it does 1 damage, one damage for every level he has. So we knock out the Gengar with Ice Beam. We knock out the Golbat, knock out the Haunter. We're fully set up right now, so unless we get like a Gen 1 miss, or sometimes a critical hit can cost us a one-shot. Right there, I don't know why I didn't knock it out, but we get the knockout nonetheless. We beat Agatha. She's pretty much a cakewalk. And we're going to move right on to Lance, the Dragon Trainer, and he's going to lead out with a Gyarados. Gyarados, we don't have anything great for Gyarados. It just, maybe we can take the opportunity to set up 1 Ice Beam. There we go. 1 more Ice Beam, very good. And so the next Pokemon's going to come out. It's Dragonair. We're going to go for Ice Beam on him. And an Ice Beam 1 more time. We are fully set up, so we should be able to sweep with Ice Beam. All the Dragon Pokemon are super weak to Ice Beam. Ice Beam's 285 power against the Dragonairs. And it's 570 against the Dragonite. I don't think I've ever seen one that powerful. So we obliterate Lance. And now we're on to the final battle of the game. We're at 44 minutes and 51 seconds. So we're actually at a pretty decent time, not going to lie. The time could be a lot worse, but it's pretty decent right now. Our rival comes out with a Pidgeot. We're going to go for agility. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up, but we don't want to get hit by Sky Attack, minimal risk. And we're going to mimic Psychic here. I don't know why we didn't mimic Recover. We should have mimicked Recover right here. That's what we should have done. And now he's going to go for Reflect and make it harder for us to hit him. We should have gone for Recover, because now we can recover our health just like he's doing. And he's doing it again. And we're going to go and hit him with Fly again. And actually we're going to get knocked out. So that was our misplay. We should have gone for Recover on the Alakazam. That would have given us the ability to recover our health after we knock it out. So Ice Beam knocks out the Pidgeot. Very good. We're going to mimic this time Recover. Very good. That was smart. Much smarter move. And now we're going to go for Fly. He goes for Recover. We one-shot. Very good. And now we can fully set up on the... Actually, we are fully set up, aren't we? We're going to knock out the Rhydon with Ice Beam. We don't have to use Recover at this moment. So we miss... How do we miss that? How do we miss a Fly? I hate Fly. Ice Beam knocks out both the Arcanine and the Execute. We hit Ice Beam on the Blastoise. It does not knock it out. We do freeze it, but he goes for a full restore because he's a cheater. And a hit. Oh my god. Hydro Pump almost knocks us out right there, but we do win the battle with 5 health left. We level up and get 9 health. So yeah, this was a very stressful battle there. However, we did get the win. 46 minutes is nothing to slouch at, but it can definitely be better. We're going to pause it right there. Definitely be a better time. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. There's some things we can clean up in the mid-game and probably get this under around 40 minutes, honestly. This Pokemon is very powerful. It's very good. That middle game where we don't know what to do about the fire types, if we just avoid it and then go do something else, we'll be fine. But that's where the problem came with this Pokemon, so we're going to fix that in the second playthrough. However, we do got to add this Pokemon to the tier list. So right now, sitting, where does this land on the tier list? It lands right here behind Gengar. It has a slightly higher time than Gengar. Gengar was 47 minutes and 23 seconds. And Articuno came through with a time of 46 minutes and 27 seconds. So it gets a much better time than Gengar. So right now it slides into the number 4 spot. Gengar slides back a little bit, and that slides Charizard back to the number 6 spot. Again, there's some playthroughs that we haven't done yet. We definitely need to play through with Poliwrath, Dugong, Gengar, Charizard. A lot of these Pokemon I have planned on playing through before I do the ranking video, so that I have an accurate representation of the Pokemon. I just didn't decide to do that until I was 2 different types into this series. So the Fire and Fighting type did not get this right away. The Flying type did, so that's why the Flying type Pokemon that are normal flying aren't going to get moved very much, because they already had this opportunity to do a playthrough and have corrections and whatnot. I just didn't decide to do that when I did the Fire types and Fighting types, but now I see that it makes sense that this should happen. Yeah, Articuno lands number 4, 46 minutes and 27 seconds. It is 2 minutes behind Dugong. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks when we do our replays. As of now, that is it. That is our playthrough. That is this Pokemon represented in Generation 1. Did pretty solid for a first playthrough, but we can definitely improve this time. We want to get it into the sub 45 tier next time for sure. Maybe even in the next tier beyond that. This is a legendary Pokemon, so it should be doing a little bit better. But I think its typing holds it back, and its slow level up rate definitely holds it back. Next week, we have a Pokemon playthrough with Jinx. Jinx is a solid Pokemon, not a great Pokemon, but solid across the board. Its early game is definitely going to hinder it because it doesn't start the game with an ice or a water move. It just has like pound and a sleeping move, I think is what it has. It's going to start off pretty rocky compared to the other two ice types. The other two ice types, I think, didn't pass like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It took them no time at all to get through Brock. Yeah, that's it. That's the video, and that's what's coming out next week. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you haven't already, there's a video I put out on Wednesday where we played through with 4 different Pokemon. If you watched the video last week, everyone was in a different spot. Machamp moved to number 1 with a playthrough. Rapidash and Primeape moved up a tier, and so did Gengar. So a bunch of Pokemon have better times now, and we're going to start making sure we get some second playthroughs done. We have time to do this. We're not in any kind of rush or whatever. I will still be posting a video every week, and I'll sprinkle in some playthroughs here and there, and then make sure we're re-ranking this Pokemon as I see fit. Wednesday, I have a video where we're gonna go over the first team I ever played through with in Silver. So that's pretty interesting. Silver was a very odd game, so I had a very odd team. It's not like the best team. Like I will honestly admit that. If I gave my best team for every game, that's completely different than my first team. I didn't know as much as I know now. I know things I would pick definitely. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. This is JD. This is Poly Wars Wrath. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.